Well, thank you. Good afternoon. I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate Chief McDonnell, in fact, the entire Long Beach police force. What you'll hear is a substantial drop in almost every category of crime in the city of Long Beach. And it's demonstrated that this can be done even during difficult budget times. They've done a great job in making the city much safer. And the chief will be going into a lot more of these details in a moment. But from 2010, there are a couple of key statistics that I think are important to note. First, the city's murder rate is the lowest since 1971. Second, we have the highest rate of solving murders ever in the history of the Long Beach Police Department at 90%. And we have a 50% decrease in gang murders. Now, this comes at a time, as you all know, when not only Long Beach, but cities throughout California are experiencing difficult budget issues. This demonstrates that this police department, and particularly its leadership, has found innovative and remarkably creative ways of continuing to keep the citizens of Long Beach safe. The men and women of this department work tirelessly day in and day out. And whatever issue might be in any public arena, I think everyone in this city owes a debt of gratitude to them and ought to take the time once in a while to thank them. It's a tough job, but they've done it remarkably well. These are difficult times, and you would expect actually crime increases in times like this, and to experience these decreases is, I think, testimony to the hard work of every person in the department and to the great management that we have in the Long Beach Police Department. So with that, I'd like to bring Chief McDonnell up. He'll talk in much more detail about this, but it's a great day for the city. And again, my thanks to every man and woman in this department. Chief.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, I'm joined here today by the mayor who just spoke, the city manager, Pat West, and our senior command staff from the department, as well as other members of the department today with us here. I'm extremely proud to be able to announce that 2010 brought a significant crime reduction in the crime rate for the city of Long Beach. The effort and hard work of the men and women of the Long Beach Police Department, the Long Beach City family, and the residents of our communities are responsible for the decline in overall criminal activity in the city. We believe that our response time to emergency calls for service has played a significant role in the crime reduction. Our average response time for Priority 1 emergency calls for service for 2010 was 4.1 minutes, which is among the very best in the country. All of our employees, sworn and civilian, play a critical role in helping to achieve these outcomes. For example, the role of our dispatchers play when you call 911, 92.8% of the calls coming into our communication centers are answered in 10 seconds or less, which exceeds the California state standard. I must also particularly thank the community that we serve and the public safety that requires collaboration and cooperation to accomplish this mission. You are the eyes and ears of our community, and we could not be successful without your feedback and information. No one knows your community better than you do, and your support makes all of our efforts possible. Over the course of a year, Long Beach Police Department employees, sworn and civilian, have several million contacts with members of our communities. Many of those, as you can imagine, are not under the best of circumstances. Yet in 2010, we received only 238 citizen complaints. While we work hard to continuously reduce this number, that's a pretty amazing ratio. During 2010, officer-involved shootings, a traumatic event for officers and the community, were down by 41%, 17 in 2009 and 10 in 2010. In these lean budgetary times, police departments across the nation are challenged with finding new and innovative ways of accomplishing our mission. An example of this is our recently implemented gang injunction, using the example of the Sereno gang injunction, which is the first of its kind in the nation. Working with the city prosecutor and the district attorney, we've used gang injunctions for many years. However, the Sereno gang injunction addresses the gangs under the control of the Mexican mafia as a web, rather than as a silo that focuses on individual gangs. We believe that this strategy will be used by other agencies as they continue to monitor our progress in this endeavor. We also continue to apply various types of technology and other innovative tools. I've talked before about Nexel, which is our ability to be able to communicate more effectively with the community that we serve. The program Safe Reunion Long Beach, a technology that allows us to reunite missing persons, often due to Alzheimer's or dementia, with their family. TipSoft, allowing us to be able to capture anonymous tips and leads from the community relative to crime issues in the community. And automated license plate readers, which allow us to use technology to rapidly locate stolen vehicles and wanted suspects. In addition, using a variety of computer software programs, the advancement in forensic technology, and the various online resources, police officers and investigators have been able to solve more crime, clear more cases, and take more criminals off the street. The results have been phenomenal, and as the mayor has pointed out, the number of murders is at its lowest since 1971, and you'll see the charts there reflective of that. We've seen a decline in 2010 gang-related shootings by 13.5%, and gang-related murders are down an unbelievable 53.8% as compared to our 2009 numbers. Our murder clearance rate for 2010 is 90%, which is the highest clearance rate we have on record, and certainly one that any police agency in America would be extremely proud of. Overall violent crime, which includes murder, rape, robbery, and aggravated assault, was down 13.5% in 2010. Murders are down 24.4%, robberies are down 13.2%, aggravated assaults are down by 14.9%, forcible rape had a slight increase, 2.3%, which is 3 incidents, and we believe that that could be due to increased reporting due to our efforts in trying to educate the community on the importance of coming forward and reporting crimes such as these. One of our significant efforts to reduce violent crimes is the seizure of guns. And in 2010, 887 guns were taken off the streets. Not only are violent crimes down, but also the city saw a significant reduction in property crimes, which includes burglaries, larcenies, and auto thefts. Part 1 property crimes in general were down 8%. It's especially noteworthy that in 2010, the number of robberies, commercial burglaries, burglary, theft from motor vehicle, and auto thefts, as well as arsons, are at the lowest that we've seen in the period of time that we've been recording those types of crimes. So that in itself, I think, says an awful lot about the efforts that are undertaken this past year. The continued efforts of our traffic section, working with our Public Works Department traffic engineer, and using the 3 E's of traffic safety, which are engineering, education, and enforcement, resulted in over 276 fewer traffic accidents, which is a 4.6 reduction, and 23 fewer traffic fatalities, for a reduction of 12% over the same time last year. Our Quality of Life Unit officers, a Long Beach PD detail that addresses issues relating to the homeless, worked with the Health Department to place 160 homeless people into housing and helping them to get off the streets and probably changing their lives forever. As we move into 2011, the economic challenges become even greater. Now more than ever, we need to work with and engage the community to become our partners in reducing crime. We'll also continue to optimize technological advancements and work with our regional, state, and federal law enforcement partners as a force multiplier to reduce crime and enhance the quality of life in the city of Long Beach. Let me open it up now for any questions you might have. Sir?
Yeah, with the Long Beach kind of being a city of many different neighborhoods, is there any, I guess, can you go into detail at all about where you're kind of finding crime gains or decreases for this particular set of statistics?
Yeah, well, overall, I mean, crime overall is down, as I mentioned, dramatically. We do have parts of the city, certainly, that the challenges are greater than other parts of the city. We tend to see probably our most challenging spots right in the central city area, north of 7th Street to PCH, and from the LA River across to the Redondo area. We've worked very hard on that, working with the communities in those neighborhoods. We've been able to have a significant impact there as well. Any part of the city, I would say, people need to feel comfortable coming forward to the police department, working with us to be able to help make their community safer. As I mentioned before, nobody knows your neighborhood like you do, and although our officers are there in and out constantly, people in the communities know what the issues are, who the players are, and their help is invaluable to us to help them make their communities even better.
Following up on the gentleman's question,
There they are at work right now.
Isn't it the case that over half of the homicides last year were in the general area you described? And if so, what specifically will the department be doing to address that? And maybe you can address the gang funds that came from Sacramento, where you and Mayor Foster spoke with the now former governor.
Sure. The area you mentioned where a significant number of our homicides have occurred is a relatively concentrated area. We use all of the tools we have. We use our direct enforcement teams within the division. We use our gang unit, our gang and violent crime section. We use gang injunctions. We intend to use more technology as this year goes on, whether it be closed-circuit TV cameras for video surveillance, automated license plate readers, shot spotter technology. We look to be able to get some of those in place. The grant you mentioned, we hope to be able to use that on the other end, not so much for the enforcement piece, but as much for the intervention piece, the education, prevention, intervention, to be able to put programs together to give kids options to gangs, to give kids who are coming out of school things to do between 3 in the afternoon and 8 o'clock at night, so that they're not on the streets, they're not susceptible to being either a gang member or to be a victim of a gang member. So we're hopeful that every grant we can avail ourselves to, every opportunity we can get to work with others to be able to help make this city safer, that's exactly the direction we want to go. Thank you.